New construction this past year has been on fire. Builders have had a wild ride dealing with COVID, supply chain issues, lumber increases, and also just having workers be out for a couple of weeks. I'm going to go over all the pros and cons that you need to know going into new construction here in St. Augustine, and we're going to get after it right now. What's up, everybody? This is Thomas with Keller Williams here in St. Augustine, Florida. And if you're looking for everything you need to know about eating, working, sleeping, and the new construction here in St. Augustine, then this is the video for you. So tap that subscribe button below, like the video, and comment if you have any additional questions about new construction here in St. Augustine. We have new videos coming out every single week, so make sure you subscribe so you're staying updated on everything St. Augustine. And if you have any further questions, any additional information you need, reach out to me directly. Give me a call, a text, or an email, whatever that is. It goes directly to my phone, and I love it when people reach out and I'm able to help them out. Make sure you stay tuned towards the end of the video because I'm going to go over the best pro and the worst con of going into new construction. As I said, COVID has made builders have to adjust to our current market here. They had issues with the supply chain, lumber went up, and they also had issues with their workforce as well. So they've had a lot of delays that they weren't accounting for. If they couldn't get a appliance in, they couldn't close. Maybe if they couldn't get a stove, then you can't close without the stove. Sometimes it's the workers too. So if one person got COVID on the job site, you weren't able to go there for 2 weeks. Everyone that was around them had to quarantine for 2 weeks as well until they had a negative COVID test. So all of these things have caused a lot of delays in the building timeframes, and the builders have done things to mitigate those to make the process as smooth as possible. They've adjusted to the market, and they've had to because of how difficult it's been. On top of that, we've had a red hot housing market, so our inventory has gotten lower and lower, especially towards the end of the year. And typically the new construction is the backfill to our resale inventory. So if you can't find the home for a resale, you typically go see what new construction has to offer. They normally have move-in ready homes that you can just write a contract in that day and move into in 30 days. Fast forward to today, that's not an option anywhere in any new construction community that I'm aware of. As of right now, all of them are building new homes and trying to keep up with the demand that they have. If they do have something that's coming up, it's something that fell out of contract for either the buyer financing or maybe something happening to their health. So that's the only way that they'd have a home further along in the stages where you might be able to move in sooner than 4 to 6 months. One of the main pros of going new construction here in St. Augustine is that our resale market and our new construction market are pretty much at the same price. Our median sale price here in St. Augustine is just under $400,000. And if you wanted to get a new construction home, you can actually get in a new construction home here in St. Augustine for about $350,000. Now this is going to have the standard features with Formica countertops and carpet, but you're able to get everything else brand new. Those huge capital expenditures, the roof, the HVAC, the hot water heater, those things are all taken care of, and then also all of your appliances are under warranty. The negative to that really is based on individual need. You may have to move into a place because of your job or because of school or other familial responsibilities you may have, so you actually need to move into a place immediately. Now, with new construction, everything's going to be 4 to 6 months out at the earliest. So back in the day, you used to be able to find a move-in ready home with new construction, and today you cannot. So that's the real negative side of it, is it's not timeline friendly. So many things can happen. So if you're looking to move on something, you need to adhere to a certain timeline, then new construction may not be the way for you to go. The next pro that I wanted to cover is that it's obviously going to be a brand new home. So when you're buying a resale, you're buying a home that is going to be, obviously a year or more older. So that could come with certain problems with the home. If it's over 10 years old, maybe you need to replace the AC, the roof, and the hot water heater all at one time. Those are huge capital expenditures that are money out of your pocket in those situations. So new construction may be the way to go if you're looking to just move in and not have to do a thing. You get a brand new house with a brand new roof, the brand new structure, hot water heater, HVAC, and everything electrical in there. All the plumbing is brand new. It all comes with warranties. You have a 10-year structural with most builders, and then a 2-year material defect. So if anything goes wrong with the lighting in the house within that 2 years, they'll come by and cover it. On top of that, you also have warranties with every single one of the appliances that you get. And that's through the manufacturer, that's not through the builder, but at least you have those manufacturer warranties just in case anything were to happen and be able to get those appliances replaced. So you really shouldn't have to worry about anything in your home for at least 5 years. I mean, probably 10, honestly, but at least 5 years, you shouldn't have any problems going on in your new construction home. And that may be a big benefit to you as a buyer because you don't want to deal with all the hassles that come with a resale property. One thing to note about that as well is that your insurance will also be notably cheaper because of the age of the home and the standards that we have in building today. So they adhere to a different code that was actually 10 or 20 years ago, so that makes the home safer. Thus, insurance companies are willing to insure it for less. The negative to that, and really I couldn't find a negative to a new construction home, but it really is based on yourself personally, is you may not like it at all. I mean, the styles of new construction homes are very similar, and maybe you're just not a fan of the white countertops with or the white cabinets with the granite countertops. Maybe you're not a fan of the gray paint that goes around or the eggshell white. It really just depends what you're looking for. So new construction may not be that. Maybe you have more of a retro style. My grandma's home's been the same for about 25 years, and she likes it the way it is. If she sees anything else, she's like, nah, it's kind of ugly, I don't like it. So it really just depends on your individual style and taste. The next pro that I wanted to talk about is going to be preferred lender incentives. So when you decide to go new construction, they most of the time work with a lender in the area that will give you incentives on your financing. Now, of course, this is only a benefit if you are using financing. They do have benefits if you're using cash as well, but they're not as great as the lender incentives for financing. Why is that? Well, a lot of the times the builders will double end the deal. They're also the financer as well. So they own the company that's building your home, and they also own the company that is lending you a mortgage on your home as well. And they give incentives if you use that preferred lender. So they're double dipping. They're getting both sides of the deal there. They're selling you the house and they're also selling you the mortgage. So they're able to give you a great incentive, which typically is going to be either buying down an interest rate or paying for closing costs. I know one builder that if you're using financing and you're going through their lender, they'll pay up to $10,000 in closing costs. And that's almost, depending on how big of a house you buy, that's almost all of your closing costs associated with the loan. So that's a large amount of money that you get to keep in your pocket today. On top of that, they may buy down the interest rate so that your 30-year cost is actually going to go down significantly. So these are large incentives that are offered through a lot of the new construction communities here in St. Augustine, and it's a great thing to take advantage of. Now, the one downside to that is that it eliminates choice. You don't get the incentive unless you go with that preferred lender. You're free to use whoever you want, but if you want the $10,000 in closing costs, if you want the interest rate buy down, then you have to use that lender. There's no other choice. So really, it just depends on what what preferences you have as a buyer, and if you already have trust and a rapport built with the lender already. So that's really just the only negative to it. I mean, you are getting money pretty much in the front where they're paying for your closing costs. That's money that doesn't have to come out of your pocket today. And then also in the life of the loan, you're saving money too. So the real negative is that it eliminates choice. And the next pro that I wanted to talk about is the neighborhood. So when you're buying in a new construction neighborhood, you're more than likely buying in a homeowners association, which is going to be filled with amenities. So you're going to have, the lap pool, you're going to have the basketball courts, the fitness center, maybe you might even have a spa, who knows? It just depends on the level of amenities provided at the certain community. So whether you want to go to the pool that day or maybe you want to go play some tennis, everything is going to be brand new and in top-notch condition. So that's really the great thing about that. Now, the negative to a brand new neighborhood is depending on really the timeline of when you're buying within the lifespan of building in this neighborhood. So if you're building in phase 1 and they have 4 phases, you're going to have a couple more years of your home and your immediate neighborhood being a construction site. So that comes with its own challenges. There may be nails on the road that you run over and you might lose a couple tires, and you might also hear the construction for years to come. That really depends on what phase you're buying into, and that's something to be aware of and something that can wear on your senses as you go through and move into your home. The other thing is that the neighborhood could be classified as cookie cutter. Now, where everything kind of looks the same, there's not enough tree growth, it hasn't matured really into that nice grown neighborhood. And really, the builders have done a great job of changing up the exteriors and also of making it that you can't have the same home next to each other with the same exterior face. It all has to look kind of different. Now, of course, if you're used to the models like myself, everything looks the same and I understand what they are. But that is one of the negatives, is that everything kind of looks similar in the neighborhood, and it's also going to be a construction zone for a considerable amount of time. Guys, I hope you're getting a little bit of value out of this content. If you are, please do me that solid and tap that subscribe button below, like the video, and comment if you have any additional questions about new construction here in St. Augustine. Like I said earlier, we have new videos coming out every single week, so make sure you subscribe so you stay tuned on everything St. Augustine. One of the main points that I wanted to cover today was going to be new construction timelines. Now, some builders are on it and things go off without a hitch and everything runs exactly how it's supposed to go, and some builders are not like that. It really just depends, and also it depends on the community as well and how they're sourcing their materials. Like I said earlier, there's so many things going wrong with the supply chain and with COVID and workers being sick that really the timeline of homes, they'll tell you 8 months, it could take 12. The contract that they have written with every person says they could take up to 2 years to buy your home. So we've had situations too where the home has appreciated, the cost of lumber or the materials have appreciated. The builder has actually come back to the buyer and said, hey, we're going to have to increase your property, the contract price on your property by X% if you want to close by a certain amount of time. If not, we're going to take our sweet time in building out that full 2 years. So that may work for your buyer, and your buyer may want to just get out of the contract and wash their hands of that situation because they have a bad taste in their mouth. One of the biggest pros that we are seeing here in our local market is price appreciation. Now, that's a really powerful thing for you as a buyer. These homes take a while to build. I've been covering that this entire time, easily over 6 months. So when you go into contract on a property, you're locking it in for a price that the builder is selling to you. Now, they're able to control pricing and appraisals because they control the price. So they're able to tell you that this house is worth this price, and it will appraise because they've sold a house a couple days before that with the same exact floor plan, the same kind of lot. So that's how they control their appraisals. So the homes have been appreciating over this past year. In St. Augustine, we've seen a 20% appreciation within the past year. So if you bought 6 months ago and you're closing today, you're more than likely walking in with 10% more equity than you had when you first signed the contract. That's super powerful for you as a buyer, and it's something that gives you a little bit of comfort in today's market, especially with dealing with new construction. Now, the opposite side of that, of course, is that anything could happen. Maybe a hurricane comes through and wrecks St. Augustine and no one wants to live here anymore. Prices could go down, but then at least you have a brand new house that can withstand a hurricane. The biggest con that I wanted to cover is going to be contract changes. I did touch on it a second ago where I said, hey, they actually came back to one of our buyers and said, we're going to have to increase your contract price to this. And if you don't want to do that, we'll take 2 years to build your home. For some people, that's not going to work. For some people, they'll take the savings and wait the 2 years. They'll have way more equity when they move into it anyway. But that's something that we're seeing. They've made significant changes to the contract, which originally, even before this past year, have always favored the builder. So that's one really important thing. You want to make sure that you're reading the contract with whoever you're signing, because now a lot of the builders are writing price increases into the contract. So if prices go up by 5%, maybe there's no change. But if it goes up to 10%, then you're expected to pay that 10% difference in price. So that's something to be aware of if you are going into new construction, because things are changing so rapidly right now. Lumber has actually gone down significantly in the past couple weeks. So that is a good thing. Builder confidence is on the rise, which is actually very, very good. But anything could happen. Supply chains could be messed up again, and we'd go right back into the same situation where lumber prices start going up and they start panicking and raising prices. So that's a very important thing to watch and be aware of if you are going into new construction. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you gained a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of value out of my video here today. If you did, please do me that solid and tap that subscribe button below. like the video, and comment if you have any additional questions. Like I said earlier, we do have videos coming out every single week, so make sure you subscribe so you stay tuned on everything going on here in St. Augustine. We have people reaching out to us all the time, so if you need any additional help, you have any additional questions, give me a call, a text, or an email. It goes directly to my phone and I'm the guy answering it. So whether that's a call, text, or email, I'm here for you.